Hey, what's up, YouTube? Travis here. Going for a walk along a gravel road. And get the housekeeping out of the way. I'm smoking a pipe of my own creation. It's a tall chimney stack. Somewhat of a full bent. No creative, fun name. And I'm smoking the last bit of my Just for Him's Black Magic Woman. And I'm out taking a walk this Saturday night, thinking a little bit about, well, a couple things. One, I recently watched Alan Godwin's video with the draft hole light shining test. And I thought that was pretty cool. I think that's a really neat way of getting a good view into the, not necessarily the high quality or poor quality of the craftsmanship, because I have the utmost respect for pipe makers, having made a few myself. Getting everything to line up perfectly is a real challenge. And I would say I'm even a little bit nervous to try that test on my own pipes for fear of what I find. But they smoke pretty well. And it's so interesting to me what a complex instrument a pipe is, and how everything has to work in sync, and how everything just has to come together. I think that's really interesting. And just between the packing, the draft, the combustion mixture of oxygen and the fuel source, the tobacco, all of those things from a scientific point of view have to come into play. But at the same time, to have a good smoke and really enjoy it, it's a lot about the state of mind that you're in and the state of the surroundings. And I know that other YouTubers have made this comment before, that you can have just a wonderful smoke of a pretty humdrum tobacco and a pretty humdrum pipe if the setting is correct. I think that's something I don't really take time to appreciate, that I would like to more. It's something I was thinking about, something I wanted to share. In addition, one of the things I was thinking about was I've recently had a lot of people over for 4th of July celebration to my house in Missouri. I was down there that weekend. Back in Iowa now. But I was thinking about how inept or incapable we've become as a species or as a society to complete not necessarily the simplest tasks, but tasks that require problem solving, tasks that require hard work, and tasks that require us to depend upon ourselves. And not to say that there isn't good things in advancing forward with technology, but I think we need to remember that we have to be capable of solving everyday issues and everyday problems. Whether it be something as simple as, erecting a mailbox, or something as a little more complex as changing the oil in a vehicle, or diagnosing problems on vehicles, or a squeaky door, or a leaky faucet. These types of things that I think so many of us, and I'm speaking mostly to my own generation, maybe the generation right below mine, the 20 to 30 somethings, they're just so quick to call someone else. And I'm very happy to call somebody else if I don't know how to do something, but I think I can learn from them. But I think we need to be willing and be brave enough, maybe be ballsy enough to take on those tasks ourselves, or at least try them, and at the same time knowing our own limits. I think we have a responsibility as humans to ourselves, at the very least, and to family members or to our household to be capable of taking on those tasks. I was surrounded by friends and family and just a little bit saddened by how little people were willing to do, mostly out of fear. And not fear that they're incapable, fear that they would mess something up, fear of failure. And I bring this up because sorry about that. Growing up, I would say I had a very large fear of failure, especially academically. I mean, both my parents were in the school district, so I kept my nose pretty clean. So if I got into any major mischief, I didn't even get a chance to tell my folks that I screwed up because they already knew from someone else. So I think there's certainly a balance to strike. I mean, if you know absolutely nothing about electrical work, don't go diving in trying to rewire your house and shock the living daylights out of you and possibly kill yourself. That's not what I'm encouraging. But learning about operation of our everyday utilities, whether it be a vehicle if you drive every day, or a computer if you use that every day at work, or if you're a homeowner, things like your hot water heater or your washer and dryer or things like that. I encourage you and challenge you, if you're someone who has that fear, I would challenge you to face that fear, and at the very least start trying to learn about it. I'm not saying to go rip open your washing machine the first sign of trouble, but if time allows, hang around the person who's doing the repairs. We have the internet at our disposal. We can learn pretty much anything we want to now, and a lot of that's on YouTube. Most of the car repair work I've learned how to do has come from watching YouTube channels, and repairing my hot water heater came from checking out websites. It wasn't a YouTube video, but I looked at still shots from websites, and it's really general maintenance. It was just exchanging a heating element. It wasn't like I was rewiring anything. It really came down to the equivalent of the same task as changing a light bulb, except I had to shut the power off and use a few tools to remove the heating element instead of just unscrewing the light bulb. But that's something to think about. And I apologize if this sounds like I'm rambling or if I'm sounding preachy here. It's just something that was on my mind. And I think for those of us that smoke a pipe, we are just naturally a type of personality that's inquisitive and thoughtful. And so I would encourage us to spread that out to all parts of our life. And I'm a scientist by trade and also by hobby and by training. And so I'm trained to observe and be curious of how things work. Not just how things look, but what's making them operate. So Maybe this is a little bit of the scientist in me rubbing off. So, anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I'd love to see videos of people testing their pipes with the... I'm not sure who came up with this. I know Alan said he learned it from somebody else, so I won't have a name, but I'll just call it the flashlight draft hole method. Testing pipe quality. And I'd really be interested to see it on some bent pipes and see if we can get the same effect of the that hourglass figure 8 shape that Alan showed. So let's see some videos of people testing other pipes. I'll try to put some up. I don't have a flashlight on me right now, so I can't test. And it's full of tobacco, so I can't test this pipe. But I'd love to see that. Love to hear your thoughts on things that you do or things that you would like to do in your life in terms of taking that leap of faith and becoming more knowledgeable and more capable in your everyday world. So, it's starting to get a little bit dark. I'm going to cut this video long, apparently, and I'll see you guys next time.